Hello and welcome again. Thank you again for returning, for watching these videos. I hope and trust that in some way they are enlightening or uplifting to you. We have been talking in the last few videos about numerological vibratory signatures of certain years related to the Great Shift or the Shift of the Ages that we are experiencing right now. Today I just want to go off on a little bit of a tangent with this number business, and then we're going to stop with it for a while. First of all, let's start. Well, it didn't want to work. Okay. The Mayan calendar, as we understand it, as has been interpreted over the last 20 to 30 years, is believed to have begun around the year 3114 BC. What do we get when we add these together? 5126. When we go through with the formula of these, 5 and 1 is 6, and 2 is 8, and 6 is what? 14. Okay, when you add the 1 and the 4 together, you do get a 5. Now this is interesting because the 14 also is a karmic debt number. What does this indicate? Of course, the 5 is change. We already knew that. The 14, what does it represent? Abuse of freedom. Ooh. Do we see any of that going on? Maybe we do. So is there any similarity? Certainly. They both show up to be a 5, representing change. But when we do it this way, we get an abuse of freedom out of the deal. So, one last year to look at. And then I promise, unless of course people want otherwise, I promise I'll be done with playing with numbers for a little while. Oh, let's look at a different color here. Okay, the last year in our sequence, the end of the shift, 2062. When you add these together, what do we get? Well, first of all, let's look at what 2062 was to begin with. It was a 10/1, 1 of course being beginnings. 10, if you remember, was rebirth. When we add these together, what do we get? We get 5176. When we add those together, what do we come up to? 6 and 7 is 13, and 6 is, guess what? 19-1, or 19/1. We got another one of those years. Now, previously, 2062, like I say, had been a 10/1 year. So we do get a change at the end. We still get the 1, okay? We still get that there's a beginning. The difference is the karma attached to the year. That by using the current system with BC and AD and so forth, and seeing it as the year 2062, we were seeing a year of rebirth. Whereas if we use the old the years BC and the years AD added together, just representing the Mayan calendar from year 1, we come up to 5176, which is a 19/1. However, the important thing about the use of numerology in determining vibrations, this was all done just for the sake of argument, by the way. The reason, or the principle behind this is, what is the vibratory signature of how we feel and how we believe of that particular set of numbers? Okay? So, right now, we are in the year 2012. That's how we all see it. That's how we all feel it. That's the one that's really important. But I did want to look at those things just from the sake of the argument being made that, well, what if you just looked at it that way? Well, now we have. We see that the main numbers of each one of them did come out the same. Whether it was a 1 or a 5 to begin with, it's still a 1 or a 5. However, the karma attached to them changed in 2 of the 3 cases. Anyway, that's all we have for today. And like I said, this will be the last time I'll play with the numbers like this for a little while. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your patience. And once again, namaste.